see here. All right, day 2 in my tiny, tiny home. All right, you may be wondering why I'm ducking and dodging and dipping and diving. I just got back from grocery shopping, and as you can see in the mirror here, I got me a good amount of groceries. And when you don't have a car and the grocery store is walking distance, and I had to make a little run to Home Depot for a couple of things. And so if you're wondering how you go get groceries at the grocery store when you have to walk there, I'm about to show you. Bam! This is how. Whoops. All right, here we go. This is how you get groceries at the grocery store when you have to walk there and you don't have a car. No big deal. I know so many people who would just lay down and give up and just say, well, I can't do it because I don't have a car, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. You got 2 fucking legs. Jesus walked all over freaking Israel and then some. Everywhere he went. He didn't have a bicycle. I think he had a backpack. But he didn't have a car. We know he rode a donkey into Jerusalem, but was that... I mean, that might have been the first time dude rode a donkey. So, anyhow, what can you actually fit in a backpack when you go grocery shopping at Target? Let's take a look. We got a vacuum cleaner. It's basically a dust buster with a stick. It's like, I just saw that out the corner of my eye. I'm like, I already had a broom picked out, a little broom and dustpan situation, but a vacuum cleaner works so much better. But you still want to have a broom and a dustpan, and I made sure to get the tiny house size version of those things. Let's see what's in the bottom. The bottom of the backpack here has, how do we get, I gotta, bear with me. I'm not, this isn't like expert level production here. We got, boom. We got 2 rolls of paper towels. Solid. Bam. It got a little squished, but who cares? Who cares? It ain't gonna hurt nothing. And then we got, forgot about the top pouch here. Set her down because I'm not going to be able to open this up. Okay, in the top pouch, we got some sponges. We got some dryer sheets. Got a receipt. A couple other receipts. What else? Got an extra key that I had to have made. What else? We got some more stuff in here. Where would those other things have gone? Oh, I know. Never mind. And then we've got this top section here of this bag. And what do we got in here? We have... we always need... Took a deuce this morning, realized toilet brush and a plunger is going to be something you need when you move into a place and you're starting from ground zero. You certainly don't want... better take care of that. You don't want a shitty situation first thing in the morning when the toilet gets clogged and you realize, I got to get me a toilet plunger and a brush. Want to keep it clean, even though, the ladies aren't going to be lining up to come visit me in this place. And frankly, would you want to go to wake up in bed and watch your girlfriend over there taking a dump? I don't think so. So I'm in no, that's not even on the realm of possibility. Then, bam, we got a tool bag. I had to get a specific tool bag to put my bicycle tools in because, once again, I'm starting from ground zero with the bicycle stuff. And, oh, what do we got? We got some laundry soap. All the different things. Even living at your friend's house, all the things that you take for granted, even though you help chip in for groceries, but all the things that they just go out and buy at Costco that you chip in for, but then when you move into your own place, like, oh crap, I can't do laundry, I can't do anything anymore. I got a little bit of carrots. I got, set that here, some blue cheese dressing to go with the carrots. Even though I got me another delicious Burger King dinner for the third day in a freaking row. I'm going to be eating Burger King again. Today, that's got to end. So I got to figure out, somehow I got to figure out what cooking equipment I have and how that's all going to work out. Got me a bottle brush with a straw brush, and that works out really good with my water bottles for the bicycles. One of which has a straw that needs to be cleaned out all the time. Grocery bags make good garbage bags, so I didn't need those. Got me some Windex. Don't mess around with generic Windex. If you got glass that you got to clean, get yourself Windex. Original blend. Don't mess around with that. Nothing else works. Got some organic, whatever the hell looking regular. Oh, this is wood surface cleaner for my antique desk. This is probably a 10-year supply of that, so I don't have to buy that again. Cheap ass dish soap. Now I can wash my dishes. Booyah. We're good there. Got, what else did we get? Oh, we got another general purpose cleaner. Looks like it's organic, but that could just be the packaging meant to fool you into, tricking a tree hugger into buying it instead of the, Clorox spray or whatever. But, and then we got some general tools. I had to get a couple pair of pliers. Got a needle nose and a regular plier for the bicycle tool kit. Basic bicycle tools. I have some bicycle specific tools already, but I had a garage full of regular tools at my friend's house. Got a bit driver with your Allen, with your Phillips head, your flat heads, a few Torx bit sizes, just a screwdriver. This was the only set of metric box wrenches that they had that didn't have the ratcheting opposite end. They were cheap. The stubby wrenches got everything from like a 15 millimeter down to something else. I don't even know what it is. Oh, you got like 10 all the way up to 15 millimeter. That'll be good. And then your standard metric Allen wrenches. Pretty decent set of Allen wrenches there. And between that and the bicycle specific stuff that I have, something like, cone wrenches, and there's some other bicycle specific tools floating around in like 5 different places. So I had to get a bag long enough for my pedal wrench, which is 16 inches long. Otherwise, I would have to find a place for that wrench. I didn't have a tool bag big enough to hold that wrench, the pedal wrench, and that's the longest tool I'm probably going to have in terms of bicycle tools. So I get to go through these 2 bags of tools and figure out what's what, put a little kit together, and it's going to be a mostly empty bag, but as I work on bicycles and do that stuff, you'll be surprised how quick a bag like that will become full over time. So that covers, you can see a little bit more today than you could yesterday. Got some bags cleared. Got, some space. I can walk around a little bit more. I got some, things are getting grouped together where they go. You can see I've got a nice little workspace set up. I've got a little kitchen area going on. My little camp kitchen table that folds up into like nothing. Couple of little tables. So you see I got my clothing. I got my shirt folding board so I can fold my t-shirts nice and perfect. Bam, bam, bam. It works out really nice. And I got some storage up there. The big box that you see with the lid half off is empty. It's just there as a placeholder. So once I get down to a certain amount of stuff that I can basically just fill that big box with empty backpacks and bags and just random stuff. And my goal is, I don't think it's going to happen tonight because I'm falling out already after walking back and forth to the grocery store and walking around town. But I think I'm pretty much tapped out by the time I get some Burger King in me. And I'm so sick of Burger King right now, but it's literally like the closest. It's like not even a quarter mile to walk to Burger King, and that's dangerous when you're and you're in a situation like this, living like this. You're not cooking a damn thing, that's for sure. Carrots and blue cheese aren't going to fill you up when you've been, doing all kinds of crazy stuff for the last 3 days. So it is what it is. I'm going to get to it. I got a lot of work to do to clean this up, get it organized, but it's coming together. I do see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I've got a lot of space. There's a lot of space behind all this stuff up there. I don't have a step stool tall enough to get up there and climb up in there, but I could actually, there's a whole bunch of space up there. There's absolutely no reason that all the stuff that's left here laying around that still needs to be sorted through and figured out, there's no way that is going to not fit up there. And everything's going to look tidy by the end of the week for shizzle. It's just, things are going slow. So it's always going to take you more time than you thought. It's always going to take more time than you want when you move. It's always going to seem more daunting than it is, but it's always going to take more time than you want. And it's just the way it is. You got to figure it out. And so in a few minutes, I'm going to eat. I'm going to do a couple of things that need to be did. And then I am going to start working on this a little bit. But I'll finish up this video and I'll get into a little bit more conversation with me looking at the camera. And as I'm uploading it to YouTube, which yesterday it took hours, talk about the good and the bad so far that I've experienced since, this is my first full day living here. And we'll go from there. What's going on? It's your boy Adam. And, I'm tired. Man, it's been a long 3 days. And, my goodness, I was about to, I'm going to just turn this way. I don't want everybody staring at the toilet while I'm talking to you all. And may as well look at the junk back there instead. I don't even know. I had some things I would have talked about, and then it left. And I worked on organizing and cleaning up this place and getting it set last night pretty much until I couldn't do it no more. I put together the wire shelf. I moved the desk and put that wire shelf together. That's a collapsible folding desk in front of the Herman Miller chair there. That's a cool drop top antique desk that I refused to part ways with. I had all this cool antique furniture in my house. A bunch of, I had many leather-bound books, and my place smelled of rich mahogany, and I refused to get rid of that desk. Everything else is gone, but that desk, I don't know, I don't want to get rid of it. I love that desk. And that little table that you see back there, that's a camp kitchen table. The front panel folds down. It's got 4 drawers inside it that are soft, like cloth drawers. It's got some expandable legs, and then it's got this top that turns it into a table, but it collapses down to a box, basically. I don't even know what's in there. Got some camp gear and a bunch of other stuff. I forget what I put in there. I packed that thing tight back in April, and I haven't opened it since. So, still haven't opened it. I just wanted that there for the table. And then that other cabinet thing that you see there, that came with the tiny house. There's a good bit of food in there. There's a little that's like the pantry. But I am so whooped, so beat. The last 3 days were something else. I had no energy all week. I only had to work Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, I didn't have to do anything except go get a U-Haul van on Friday evening. And I know I said in yesterday's video that the U-Haul experience was bad. U-Haul allowed me to book a reservation at a place that wasn't even open on Friday, for Friday. And so we had to kind of scramble, and we went through some hassles, got a van from Enterprise Rental Car. Chrysler Pacifica. It's actually a decent van. If you need to move some stuff around, U-Haul will charge you like $20 a day, but they'll charge you 99 cents a mile to drive one of those cargo vans around. But Enterprise Rental Car charged me, I think it was like, when you put together it was $72 to $79 a day, plus all the insurance and the add-ons, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to drive a rental car without getting the rental car insurance, because heaven forbid you bring it back with some damage or something, and it's, just pay for the whole shebang. It was $120, unlimited mileage. And I put 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I put over 100 miles on it, easily. Maybe 150, I don't know. But that would have been an extra $150 from U-Haul. On top of that could have been a $200 U-Haul rental. So the Chrysler Pacifica is actually a decent minivan, because all of the back seats, from the middle row all the way to the back, they fold down completely into the floor. So you have the entire space in the back. That antique desk behind me, I was able to stand it upright with the drawers in it. And I was able to, like I didn't even have to lay it down on its back or anything like that. It fit upright in the back of the van. And the only thing I had to go back to my friend's house to get after I got here was 2 bicycles and this Herman Miller chair that you see in my little office area there. And one of the bicycles in that chair I've bought since I got to Texas. I had to get a chair. So I was borrowing a chair. I had to give it back. And so I went out and bought a Herman Miller Aeron chair on the used market off of Facebook Marketplace. Thing's almost brand new. I've had 3 of these things in my lifetime. I've sat on countless ones at different companies I've worked at. This one's the best one I've had so far. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit. It's got some dust and, things like that. But great chair. Maybe I'll do an episode about how to use a Herman Miller Aeron chair, because it's not a typical office chair. But these things cost like $1,200 new. Back when I bought it, I got it for $350. The chairs, if you buy it brand new, they come with a 10-year warranty. 10-year warranty. Fix anything that goes wrong with it. These chairs will last 50 years. Every single piece of the chair, every single part on that chair can be replaced with 2 clicks of the mouse. I bought replacement parts for my Herman Miller chairs on Amazon. You can replace every single little part of that chair. So even if you bought it brand new for $1,200, it's ergonomically sound. It's one of the best chairs you could ever sit in. It makes your back better instead of worse. When you sit on it for a long period of time, it's actually good for your back, versus you can't go to Office Max or Home Depot or Office Depot or Staples Max or Staples Home Office, whatever the hell these box mart office stores are, and get a chair that's going to last you 10 years, let alone more than that. These Herman Miller chairs, I've seen some that are 30 years old and still fine. And like I said, once you've made that initial investment, any part of that chair can be replaced. I think the most expensive part on the chair is like $50. So you can always have a brand new top of the line office chair once you've made that investment. And if you're somebody who sits at a computer all day, I mean, you can go to Office Max, Staples, whatever, and get a crappy ass chair that's going to wreck your back, and the chair is going to completely fall apart within a year or two. 1 to 2 years max. You're going to spend $200, $250, maybe $300, get a chair that's going to last you like 2 years. It's going to completely fall apart. You're going to have to go get another one. And you're going to do that 4 times, and you're going to have spent the same amount of money you spent on a Herman Miller. And your back's going to be a train wreck. You're going to need back surgery. And you're going to have 4 busted up chairs. Excuse me. So I don't know, I'm bouncing around. I bought a couple things since I got here in Texas. I try to be good with my money. Haven't really bought anything frivolous. It feels frivolous when I'm buying certain things, but they're things that I'm actually using and things that I actually need, and in most cases, after I've bought the thing and I'm using it and it's, doing what it's supposed to be doing, it doesn't feel frivolous anymore. It's just when your money's really tight and you're scared to death about being homeless again, you're going to think about every dollar that you spend. Even going to Burger King felt stupid, but I got this tiny little fridge. I don't have any energy to cook or even make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I'm like, for a few days, I'm just going to eat the fast food garbage, and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm already like sick of it. Tomorrow I got to ride my bicycle 40 miles to go back and forth to the bakery. I am definitely not looking forward to it. I'm not ready. I'm still wiped out. But last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I had no energy at all. And I couldn't figure out why. And sometimes the good Lord will he'll tell you it's time to sleep. It's time to rest. Rest. This happens to me every now and then. Ever since April, ever since I got out of prison, there will just come a day where I crash and burn. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I crashed and I burned hard. And I could barely keep my eyes open. And there wasn't anything going on. There was no reason for it. And then after yesterday was over, I realized, I'm like, yeah, that was God forcing me to take a break and relax and sleep and get rested, because you were going to be in for a whirlwind of craziness for 3 or 4 days, and you need to be ready for it. And that's how it worked out. The nonsense with the van. After I got the van, I went and bought a bicycle, came back to the house. I was whooped. That whole experience was a bit taxing. Next morning, yesterday morning, I'm up at 6 a.m, going through all my stuff, packing it. Started out with being organized about it, but by the time, 10 o'clock came around, I was like, okay, just got to wrap this thing up. Got the 2 trips in. By the time I returned the minivan to the rental place, it was, by the time I got back to the crib, it was, well, you saw in the video yesterday, I shot that video right when I got back. And here, the crib was, it was still light outside, but not for long. And I spent a little bit of time after I shot that video trying to pick up and clean up and try to set up a space to sleep and just, do whatever I can do. And by the time I got a bed set up, cot, whatever you want to call it. By the time I got set up, in a bare minimum setup, I was like, okay, we're done. I couldn't even stand up anymore. I sat in this deluxe plastic Adirondack chair, and I pretty much passed out. I couldn't even watch half an hour of TV. I laid down in the bed, gone, done for the night. Um, this morning I couldn't get up. Slept until like 10, 11 o'clock. I couldn't even get out of the bed. The first time I got up, I could barely stand up on my feet. I walked around, got some coffee, started organizing, started moving things around. I got that second wind, the energy came, got a lot done. There's a huge difference in here from yesterday to today. It's starting to actually feel like a cool little place. But I didn't have any cleaning supplies at all. And just lots of random things kept popping into my head today. And I didn't want to be out walking after dark. So I had to kind of, like, okay, 4 o'clock, 3:30, between 3 and 4 o'clock, I said, okay, I'm done. I got to go. I had to go to Home Depot, which is a little bit of a walk. And then I had to come back, go to Target, get a few things, and then come back to the crib. You saw the backpack I took, filled that thing full. Got pretty much everything I need. I still, like, food-wise, I've got snacks, I've got different things. I'm not going to starve, but I don't even know what I have to cook with yet. It's kind of, that's kind of like, I don't know. I've got this T-Mobile hotspot you can see back there. Haven't even pulled the thing out of the box. I don't even have real internet yet. I don't have a workspace set up. I don't have, it's just, I got to get this place to look clean and organized before I even set up a computer and sit there. Or I'll go batshit crazy, because this is a cramped little room here. And I've got to try and make it look as spacious as I can, so just to keep my sanity in check. Once I have it all set up, it's going to be nice. It's going to be like living in an RV, but maybe a little better. I know there's some RVs that are better than this, bigger than this, but, with the pop-outs on the side and stuff. My mom had a freaking RV that was like the size of a house. I mean, it felt like being in a house when I was in it. But this place here, I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if you can hear the siren. One thing, good and the bad so far. The good, walking distance to stores, walking distance to all kinds of stuff, restaurants, stores, you name it. There's probably 100 places I could put in a job application all within a 1 mile walk. I said that yesterday. That's a good thing. All utilities included. The landlord, the guy who owns this place, he's really nice. Everybody who's here, really nice, really friendly. I'm digging that. I like that. That was a good thing. This place is cozy. It's got, I can go in the house. I can use the kitchen. If I need to put some stuff in the fridge in the house, the main house, I can do that. I can store things in the garage. You saw, if you looked at the video today, I set up the porch. I took the big chair off the porch because I don't plan on sitting on that porch. I just put my bicycles there. Store my bicycles. They're not going to be getting rained on. If I come home and they're wet, muddy, or whatever, dirty, I can just, set them on the porch, clean them when I get a chance. I can go into the garage. I can set up a work stand. I have a portable work stand. It's on the floor right here. I can set up in the garage, do whatever I got to do to the bicycles there. Do the tune-ups and stuff. I can do it out in the yard, in the sunshine, enjoy some tranquility there. So there's a lot of good. One of the bad things about this place, it's on a main road. Busy main road. Cars going, it's just, you can't even pull out of the driveway here in your car without having to wait like 10 minutes, and then you've got to gun it because it's this car. Cars all day and night. All day and night. Non-stop noise. You can hear every single car that goes by this house through the walls of this little tiny house. It's not horrible, but it's going to take some getting used to. That is something I don't like. One thing about Texas that I don't like in general, this whole state. Texas is basically set up that if you don't own a car, if you don't drive a car or a truck, if you need to rely on public transportation, walking or cycling to get from one point to another, you can go fuck yourself and die, according to Texas. That's how Texas rolls. I would be more comfortable riding my bicycle through Manhattan in New York City all day and night, even at night. I would be more comfortable doing that than riding a bicycle or walking anywhere in Texas. This place is fucking crazy. I've never seen anything this fucking crazy in terms of how douchey people are when they're driving. They're scumbags here. They're aggressive, they're mean, they're obnoxious, and this whole neighborhood is full of houses. There's not a single fucking sidewalk. There's no shoulders on any roads. Any road I've ever driven down except for this yuppie neighborhood called the Woodlands. It's this ultra yuppie planned community. They have sidewalks there, but that place is that's a whole nother story. I don't even want to talk about that place right now. There's a whole bunch of things that suck about that neighborhood too. But no, driving, if you're not driving, if you're walking, biking, riding a fucking horse, if you're on any other thing other than a truck or a car, even to go to your next door neighbor's house, you're putting your life in your own hands at that point, because like just to walk over to Target was insane. I had to run across a 5-6 lane road with people honking at me and stuff and like getting all mad. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, Texas. Put a fucking crosswalk in the goddamn road at an intersection where there's stores and shit. Fuck you, Texas. Fuck you. I'm not a big fan of a lot of shit in Texas so far. I'm not going to lie. But I also have to keep in mind that I'm not going to be a big fan of anywhere I'm living right now because I'm not living well. I just got done being homeless in Jamestown, New York. Came down to Texas to live with a friend. I wouldn't even want to live in Pittsburgh right now, being all broke and barely able to survive. So keep that in mind. Like, I'm sure there's some good things about Texas, but the transportation, oh my God, you have the 4th biggest city in the country and you can't take a bus. There's no public transit here. And it's all these ridiculously retarded ass highways that are just, the way that the infrastructure is set up in this place is mind-blowingly stupid. It's so ridiculously stupid and bad that it just blows my mind. Everything's flat here. Like, I've never seen anything this fucking retarded when it comes to roads and just the way they build things here in that respect. And the transportation and the highway systems, the roads and everything else. It's a nightmare. It's not even fun to drive. I've driven around here enough to know that I basically hate being on the roads here in any way, shape, or form. Maybe that'll change, but I'd rather be driving around New York City. I am way cooler driving around New York City, Philadelphia, the Northeast mega cities than this freaking place. This place is crazy. So yeah, that's a bad thing. Listening to the traffic right outside the tiny house. Just foo all day and night. Big trucks. Just all kinds of crazy noise all night long. I don't think I have to sleep with earplugs in. It's not that bad, but it's bad enough that 6 months of that, if I'm here, if I have to renew my lease here in 6 months, I'm going to be a little sad. Just that noise alone is enough. It's annoying. I'm listening to some loud ass truck going by right now. I don't even know what it is, but it sounds big and loud. Um, and I knew that before I moved in here. I looked I knew what I was getting into before I walked in the door here. When I pulled into the driveway for the first time to look at the place, I was already like, when I looked at this road that the house is on. And this road is covered in houses. There's like a house every 20, 30 feet. And the houses are only like 20, 30 feet apart. They're not, there's this house, all the way down this road. But people are driving down this road going 65 miles an hour, just fucking flooring. This is like a residential neighborhood where people are just driving 75 miles an hour. And like you can't even pull out of your driveway here. It's like to pull out of this driveway, it's like you just got to gun it and pray. Close your eyes and hope for the best. And that's the driving part of it. A little bit safer. It's actually safer to pull out of this driveway on a bicycle than it is in a car. It's that the road behind me is that crazy. It's that bad. I can get used to a lot of things. I lived in one place in Pittsburgh that was right next to a major highway, and there was a bump. It was like a bridge. And whenever the tractor trailers would drive up onto the bridge, you would hear ba-bang, and it would shake the whole house. And you would hear this all night long. Ba-bang, 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 bang, ba-bang, bang, ba-bang. Every time a tractor trailer goes across that gap on the bridge, the whole freaking neighborhood just shakes. And it's loud. It's mind-numbingly loud. I've stayed in houses next to the train tracks where every time a freaking train comes through, horn, shaking the whole neighborhood, the house shakes, horn. Like I've put up with some shit. So I'll deal with that, but that's one of the bad things about this place. Let me think. I don't know, is there any other bad things I can think of? Not really, not so far. Other than, it's a cramped little tiny place, but it's one bill. Everything's included. I gotta pay for internet. And I'm gonna make it work. Obviously, the ceiling here is just, a bunch of smoothed out spray foam. And I gotta wait for, he's gonna have somebody come in here and fix that. Which kind of means it's going to suck for me because I'm going to have to move things around, and I don't know what's going to be involved with that, but it's going to be kind of a pain in I might just say, you know what? I can deal with this for 6 months. I don't even care. But he was going to put a really cool, like a big ceiling fan that pretty much fills the whole room. And so there's some perks coming if I'm willing to put up with a little bit of crap. But it all worked out. I was able to get this place in my hands a week before the first, and it was all smooth. The guy who I'm renting from is really cool. I got no beef with anybody here. I've only been here a day, but I could go to heaven and complain to God when I get to heaven. Like these clouds. I'm sick and tired. These clouds are too soft. Sick and tired of harp music. Can you play some Led Zeppelin? And then God, God has a sense of humor. He'll probably play Stairway to Heaven on a harp. And she's buying the stairway to heaven. Bring, bring, bring. Probably play Stairway to Heaven on a harp, just if I complain about all the harp music in heaven and I want to hear some Led Zeppelin and rock out for a minute. Yeah. So, that's what it'll be. So it doesn't matter. No matter where I am, I'll find something to complain about. And So I know that about myself, and things could be much worse. Things could be much worse. I could have moved into that dumpy ass, that dumpy trailer, and who knows, I could have gone through not just a nightmare trying to rent a moving van, but also trying to get utilities hooked up. Like the owner of the property didn't even know, like, who's the electric company? Oh, like who do I call to get the water turned on? I don't know. I'm like, how the fuck do you have a property for rent and you don't even know the answer to how to turn the fucking utilities on? Like, what kind of, yeah, that's a slumlord and a half right there. That's like, if the place catches on fire, he's gonna not even want to call the fire department. He's gonna come over with a fucking bucket of water and, oh, I tried. So, um, yeah, so that's where I'm at. Tiny house living. I don't really got. I'm not. Obviously I didn't take any notes for what to talk about the last 2 days. Just showing you how I'm living large, living the dream, and I'm sure I'll have a few minutes tomorrow to do a quick video after I get settled in, and after my 40-mile bike ride. I'm gonna have no energy for anything else tomorrow, that's for sure, other than maybe moving a couple boxes when I get back. I'll probably be back at the place by between 5 and 6 o'clock. So, it's I don't have to ride in the dark at all. That's nice. And I'm sure I'll have a little bit. I could probably pull out an energy burst at some point. Um, yeah, that's about it. I think the only other thing you realize what you don't have when you don't have it. I used to have a Berkey water filter at my old crib, and I could do 2 gallons at a time. I always had 50 gallons of drinking water, filtered, highly filtered drinking water, and I'm a very important to me to drink good water. And when I came here yesterday, I had some water. I had some bottles of water, but I ran out because I was drinking a lot of water yesterday. And I took one drink out of that sink back there, and I'm like, oh, city water, man, city water. It's drinkable. Don't get me wrong. The water was totally drinkable. It's not unsafe, but you could taste the chlorine. It tasted like drinking Clorox, because the city, residential water, neighborhood water, they put all kinds of shit in the water. And so I realized one of my clients, when I was back in Jamestown, gave me this steel insulated water bottle, but inside there's it's got this filtration system in it. And so I knew I had this thing. In fact, I didn't really need it at my friend's house because they had filtered water, they got bottled water, they had, sparkling waters, and water was not a problem. I was mostly drinking out of the water filter attached to their sink. Good. It was a good filtration system. Tasted good. But I got here and I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have to drink out of the tap? And so big shout out to my buddy back in Jamestown who got me this water filter bottle. Just kind of, I met him one day and he goes, here, I got you this. Okay, cool. This thing's turning out to be a godsend right now because I'm drinking a lot of water and I don't have to drink out of the tap. And it's delicious. It takes all the bad taste right out of the water. I don't know how, certainly not as intense of a filtration as going through a Berkey water filter or a high-end water filter, but this has definitely made it so I don't have to go buy bottled water for a while, and I can save my money. Maybe after a few weeks of being here, get another, like, Berkey water filters are super expensive, but there's a knockoff brand, China Mart brand, on Amazon right now. It's basically the exact same system, but it's half the price of a Berkey. and it comes with everything that my Berkey system came with. And if the filters turn out to be crap, which I think they're probably the exact same thing, but if they turn out to be garbage, then at the end of the day, you can actually just buy the Berkey black filter elements and screw them in, because it's the same. It's a copycat system, and the filters are the same size. Everything's identical to the Berkey except for the logo on it. All the reviews say it's just as good, but it's half the price. And so for under $200, I can get the entire kit, the fluoride removal filters, along with the black elements. And the black filters for a Berkey water filter, you get 10,000 gallons of water. You can filter 10,000 gallons of water with one of those, or some crazy thing something like that. You can use those for like 10 years before you got to replace them. The fluoride filter you probably want to replace every year. But so yeah, this is where I'm at. It's just, you don't know what you don't have until you wake up and realize you don't have it. And I don't know, making a tiny little place like this work and feel like home is going to take some work. But give it a week. Oh, a week's worth of videos will make a big difference. And with that, I'm just going to say peace out, and I'll see you soon.